Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to my 72 amazing subscribers, or perhaps comic book aficionados that are just discovering my channel for the first time. Welcome to the Kraken's Lair Comics. We're going to go deeper in the Kraken's Lair for, a video that usually gets the most watched numbers, which is a live unboxing of 10 comic books that I have just received back from PGX, and we're going to discover these grades together. Okay, I know that was wrenching. For people that have watched my channel, I am a tech idiot. I struggle. I did an 18-minute video, but when I was trying to zoom in on one of the comics, I hit something on the phone that shut off the video. So now I'm starting all over again. So this is now a post live unboxing. This is the box that came in from PGX. As you can see, they do a great job packaging, layers of protection. They include plastic sleeves to put around the graded comic book to protect that plastic from being scratched or whatnot. And getting damaged and looking unsightly. Now, I'm not trying to do anything tricky here. I'm sorry that we are now a post unboxing. I'm going to show this one comic book while I'm talking. Well, I want to do this. My good buddy Chance is not here in the flesh, but he's here in spirit.
Of key graded comic books.
Hey Chance, what day is it?
It's Unboxing Day!
What day is it?
Unboxing Day!
Tell your viewers how long I have waited to receive this box that's right behind you.
What happens is, when you mail, to people that aren't comic book nerds like Danny and I are, you have to mail comic books to be graded by an official grading company. And what they do is they encase it in a hard plastic slab. But they also grade the comic, and this is important. This is actually big money. The comics that Danny submitted are like key comic books. And we're going to reveal live what these actually are in terms of the grades and what they mean in terms of value. So I'm really excited. Danny's waited 2 days. He got this shit
2 days
ago.
2 days?
Aside from the weeks and weeks when you mailed it off.
Weeks and weeks.
Back. You waited 2 more days for me to get here.
Oh, yeah.
To Georgia, where we are right now. So.
All right, we're going to do it.
Let's get to it.
Chance.
Let me show the box.
All right.
Here's the box.
I'm going
to share this.
Kraken's Lair people. My good buddy Chance, who is fooling with his technology. So, that's my good friend Chance. Wish he could be here for Unboxing Day. Now, very quickly, I do want to talk that, the premier grading company, CGC, has raised their prices again. I've spoken about this before, where, to me personally, the service that you're providing as a grading company, where you're counting the pages, where you're looking at every page, you're looking at color break increases, non-color break increases, little indentations, pieces missing out, coupons cut out, the back of the cover, dirt, water damage, staining, the interior where, some kid decided to color in Spider-Man. They're looking at every single page to assign a grade to that book. To me, it does not matter if that book came out last week, last month, 10 years ago, 30 years ago. The service that you're providing is exactly the same. So we're going to charge a percentage. Oh, hey, this book's worth over $1,000. We're going to charge you this much. Hey, this book's worth over $5,000. We're going to charge you this much now. I like that PGX has a flat fee is $25. There is a modern tier if it's a newer book. I don't know the price on that because pretty much all the books I own are old. PGX also does in-house pressing and dry cleaning, which I do like because I'm not sending a book through the mail to a grading company who is now sending my book through the mail to some other location to be pressed, to be dry cleaned, that now has to get shipped back to them, where they will grade it and now get shipped back to me. The more that my comics are in the post office system, the greater the likelihood that some damage might happen. If you've never sent comic books off before, it's like sending your children off to college. It's like, I've given you a good foundation, and I hope you'll be smart and be safe and do the right things. But there's that fear factor of like, ugh, these are now out of my hands, out of my control. Now, when I sent this back to PGX, it arrived right before the Thanksgiving holiday. It arrived on 11/24. Understanding that it was the holidays, I did not receive the text that they do send you. Hey, we have your comics. We have your submission. So once again, I got a little bit nervous. So on December the 6th, I sent Colette Schneider, their general manager, a text going, hey, tracking shows my books have been there since the November 24th. I've not heard anything. Just want to check up on it. She texted me back that very day, which is really cool. Hey, we're going to look into it. I don't have them yet. I'll keep you informed. Another week passes. It's now December 17th. I have not heard anything. So I sent another very nice, polite text going, hey, just want to touch base. She responded again that very day saying, we don't have your books. There's been some delays. It's the holidays. I'll get back to you. Now, Daniel Patterson, the owner of PGX, called me on December the 21st. And I saw on my phone, Eugene, Oregon, and a phone call. I was like, this is not good. I'm getting ready to get some really, really bad news. He introduced himself. Hi, I'm Daniel Patterson. I'm the CEO of PGX. We have your comics. He apologized for the delay, explained to me that, when you send a comic or multiple comics to PGX, you send it to a P.O. box, which it evokes a sort of image in your head of a, box at the post office. He's like, we own like a third of the floor plan of the post office. So it's easy for things to get overlooked as they're, sending people out to pick up stuff from their P.O. box to bring it to them. So he apologized for the delay. He told me that they were going to put my comic books on an express fast track and that they should be shipping out on January the 14th, which I thought was really cool because once again, we're looking at the Christmas holiday coming. We're looking at New Year's coming. I had paid the additional money for the pressing and the dry cleaning, and I understand that those services take time. So I was like, hey man, it's like really, really cool. I appreciate you reaching out to me. This is awesome. I explained to him that I have this janky little channel, Kraken's Lair Comics, and he's like, oh, send me a link. I want to check that out. And I thought that was like really, really cool. So I did that. So good job on you, PGX, for your communication. Good job that here's the owner of the company who's taken the time to make a personal phone call. Good luck getting CGC to have somebody give you a phone call. My understanding is there are months and months and months behind in their grading, which is probably why they raise the prices. I get it. If they're like, oh man, we have more submissions than we can even keep up with. This does go into turnaround time is a factor. If say you have the very first appearance of Morbius in Amazing Spider-Man 101, and you want to get that graded to sell it, to take advantage of say the hype or the interest in that book, since that movie is getting ready to come out, if you got to wait 6-8 months for that book to come back, that opportunity might have come and gone. So, ultimately, I sent this stuff in on November the 24th. it got here 2 months later. And that's after sitting for a month in their P.O. box. So, I mean, that's stellar customer service. Now, I apologize that the live unboxing is now a post-live unboxing, but I will show, here's my notes, okay? And I am not a professional grader, so I guess at grades. You'll find, like, as you send in books to be graded, you do start to learn stuff to, like, where you're like, oh, I thought it was this grade, and it came back, such and such a grade. And it starts to make you a more informed collector to be able to actually look at your books and go, okay, this is what it is. It certainly helps if you're selling a book that both you and the purchaser, you're not guessing. It's got a grade on it from a third-party grading company, and it makes it easier to sell. I will say that this batch, it's a lot of, and I'll reference Chris at the We Love Comics channel, low grade is better than no grade. If you can afford 9.0s, 9.2s of these key Silver Age books, more power to you, because like those are definitely going to appreciate. But most collectors, once you get to where you're looking at the cost of a comic book is $2,000, $5,000, $8,000, $12,000, you start to eliminate a whole lot of your customer base from being able to afford those. But collectors still want those key issues. So if you've got a lower grade book, and one that fit your budget, and that's what you could afford, that 1.5, that 2.0, that puts it in your collection, don't let anybody hate on you for that. If I held my breath to have the money to buy just this book you're seeing at in a 9.0, not only would I not have this, but I would not have the other 9 books I'm getting ready to show you, because for me to save up thousands of dollars is liquid money to buy a comic book, that takes me time. So once again, low grade is better than no grade. And I'm okay with that. I love these books. I love the history of these books. I love the nostalgia of these books. And I don't have a problem, if I buy a book for $300 and it's worth $5, and I sit on it, and when Doctor Doom shows up in the movies, that doubles in price, I've made out just fine. But the purchaser from me, to where it's, okay, a $600 book, a lot more people can afford that than a $6,000 book. So we're going to get into these books together. Here's my notes. Fantastic Four Annual number 2. When I give these prices, when I say I'm all in, it's what I paid for the book, plus the $50, which is $25 to have it graded, the money to have it pressed and dry cleaned, the money for me to ship it off, and the money for the insurance to, protect myself in case something happened amiss in the mail system. So I'm all in $170 on this book. I put this at a 2.0 to a 3.0 because, and this is where I messed up last time I moved my phone instead of moving the book. You'll see significant corner wear here. You'll see in this letterbox right up at the top where that's chipped off. So, I knew this wasn't high grade, and that's cool. I put this at a 2.0 to a 3.0, and it came back a 3.0. The Origin of Doctor Doom. If you don't have this book, I urge you to pick it up before Doctor Doom shows up in the movies, before they announce an actor who's playing him, certainly before, the trailer comes out. This is the Origin of Doctor Doom. This is a great issue to have. So, as I stated, I'm in $170 on this book. At a 3.0, the current value is $400. That's right now. So I over doubled my money right now, which more than covered the additional $50 cost to have it, graded. So I'm super pleased with that. That's awesome. I can accept that 3.0. Continuing the theme of Doctor Doom, I had this one graded. This is Fantastic Four number 16. So just to work it out for comic book people, the very first appearance of Doctor Doom ever is in Fantastic Four number 5, a very expensive book. I mean, even in a 2.0, you need a couple $1,000s to sit at that table. I don't own that. I do own Fantastic Four number 6, which I've had graded. Came back a 4.0. The next appearance is Fantastic Four number 10, which is actually in this submission batch. And then there's this, Fantastic Four number 16. So, Fantastic Four number 16 down here. I'm all in $320. I put this at a 3.5 to a 4.0. And it came back gablam, a 5.0. First Ant-Man crossover. Once again, doing my math. Fourth appearance of Doctor Doom. Fantastic Four 5, Fantastic Four 6, Fantastic Four 10, Fantastic Four 16. Fourth appearance, Doctor Doom. Super happy with that 5.0. There is, once again, some chipping on the edge. There's a date stamp, which they don't actually detract from on Silver Age books. Certainly some issues along the spine, but a 5.0 and just to This book came out in 1963. That is a solid grade, man. A 5.0. I am super, super pleased with that. Here we go. That third appearance of Doctor Doom I mentioned. Fantastic Four number 10. Now, I will say, at some point, some owner of this book with the initials of HH decided on like page 6 of the book above the artwork in Sharpie to put his initials, HH. Now, in a Sharpie pen that bled through the previous couple pages, we'll call it page 3 to page 6. But also, it bled through behind that from page 6 to page 9. Somewhere on page 12, he decided to put his initials, I say he, could have been a girl, put the initials HH again in Sharpie, which now bled forward from page 12 to page 9, from page 12 to page 15. I didn't know how the grading company was going to handle this. So once again, looking at my notes, because I only speak the truth, there's FF number 10. I'm all in $350. I put this at a 2 to a 3.0. Now, honestly, at a 3.0, the value is $350. And that's right what I've paid for it. The book, the pressing, the dry cleaning, the grading. But I'm looking about where this book is going. So, when Doctor Doom shows up, when they do announce an actor, when there is the trailer, when you see the face of Doom, I've got this graded, ready to sell. If that's my intention. A 4.0 of this book is $450. So I'm if it's a 3.0, I'm cool with that, because I broke even. It's kept safe. It's Fantastic Four number 10. This book came out in January of 1963. It's an old comic book. It is now kept safe. The condition will not deteriorate any further. It's is listed off white to white pages. That's great for a comic this old. So let's look at the grade. I had this 2.0, 3.0, chance you're not here, reveal. A 4.5. That's awesome. I told you a 4.0 right now is what I say, $450. So, a 4.5 for people that, aren't comic book people, it's like, dude, that 0.5 from a 4 to a 4.5 to a 5, sometimes, it starts jumping up dramatically. Look, a 3.0 is 350, a 4.0 is $100 more, 450. So 4.5, we'll call this, without me looking at gocollect.com, we'll call it 5 and change. So now, as opposed to breaking even from my $350 investment, I'm already up like, 150, $200. And that's now. So I'm super, super happy about that. Next book. This one I got back in the day. So I literally paid I put $5 for it. Could have been less, could have been $2, could have been $3. This is Avengers number 6. This is the first appearance of the original Baron Zemo. And it's Avengers number 6. So with the pressing, dry cleaning, all that stuff, I'm $55 in. I put this at a 4.0 to a 5.0. Once again, I'll show you my notes right up at the top here. Avengers number 6, 4.0 to 5.0. So that estimated value is $380 at a 5.0. But the grading gods are smiling on Dan the Kraken Man. Gablam! 5.5 from 1964. Off-white to white pages. Just a really pretty, a 5.5 for the age of this. That's just amazing. I'm super pleased to have this. This is probably a book I'll end up selling. I'm not emotionally invested in it. I've got Avengers 1. I've got Avengers 2. But this might be a book that I will sell because, I don't even have what the value is at a 5.5, but I'm $55 in. A 5.0 is almost $400. That almost pays for me to get another 10 books in my collection graded. I've talked about this. I'm paring down my collection. I don't want my child and my wife to have to deal with thousands and thousands of comic books in, the event of my demise. Having books graded lets them know that they are valuable. They know the tools where they can actually look up and see, hey, this is the grade, this is what it's worth, so no one's going to take advantage of them. But I can get another 10 books graded just selling this. So very pleased with that 5.5. This is a really gorgeous book. So happy to have this. Very, very happy to have this. No complaints from Dan the Kraken Man. All right. Our next one, we're moving into Spider-Man land. Amazing Spider-Man. Number 23. Now, an early Green Goblin appearance. Green Goblin's first appearance is Amazing Spider-Man 14. Then it's number 17. And then it's this one. So this is the third appearance of Goblin. I have not seen the No Way Home yet. I don't like the Green Goblin armored mask. I think a lot of people don't. I want to see the actual Goblin serum, Gobby Gobby Goblin. I want to see the orange pumpkin bombs. I want to see the bat flyer. Eventually, they're going to get it right. And as the very first appearance of Green Goblin gets more and more expensive, people are going to gravitate towards the next thing. The second appearance, the third appearance, to have these books. I'm grateful I've got the first 3 appearances, and I've actually got the next 2 as well. One of those is coming up. So let's go to my notes. Amazing Spider-Man number 23. So we're looking here. I paid $170 for it. I have this at a 3.0 to a 4.0. A 4.0 is $290. A 5.0 is $340. So even if it grades a 3, I'm ahead. The 4.0, $290. That's right now. I've made $100 and change. Cool. And let's reveal. Boom. 4.5. This book is from 0465. Creamed off-white pages. 3rd appearance of the Green Goblin. Very, very cool. So glad I got this graded. There's some edge wear. I mean, it certainly qualifies for that 4.5. You know, PGX does know their business. They do know what they're doing. Obviously, you know, being contacted by Daniel Patterson, you know, knowing that, you know, my books had been delayed. It's not like they're throwing me high grades as some sort of, you know, thank you for your patience. So I love that. The 4.5, totally can live with that. Another amazing Spider-Man. Once again, I'm glad I got this before the trailer for No Way Home hit. And I bought this just a couple of days before the trailer hit, because we know this character is in that movie. This is the 3rd appearance of Dr. Octopus. His first appearance is in ASM 3. His second appearance is in ASM 11, which I own. But the condition's not the best. And there's actually in the letters page, a little letter that was like clipped out. So it's not going to grade that high. So I decided to get this one graded. I am all in on this book, $300. I put it at a 2.5 to a 3.0. And at a 3.0, it's like worth $300. You know, you go up just a little bit from there. It starts jumping off at like a 6.0, which I know this is not. Like I said, I put 2.5 to a 3.0. I'm all in $300. And this one came back a 4.0. Very happy with that. 0564. 3rd appearance of Dr. Octopus, a 4.0. Give a 4.0 on this book. You know, it's $350. So I'm only like $50 ahead right now, but it's Amazing Spider-Man number 12. I mean, this book is going to continue to appreciate. It is an early appearance of Dr. Octopus. It is an early appearance or issue of Spider-Man. I can totally live with that 4.0. That's great. I mean, and like I said, there's chunk missing out, big crease, but overall, I mean, it pops, man. I love that yellow. There must be something about that when it comes to Spider-Man issues. The death of Gwen Stacy with that yellow background. The ASM 129 first appearance of Punisher. I mean, just so gorgeous with all that yellow. All right. New acquisition. Very first appearance of Miles Morales. I noticed a dip in what these books were selling for. Because for a minute, I mean, high grade, I mean, it was like $900, $1,100, $1,200. And I actually got this for $400. I put this at a 9.0. At a 9.0, the value is $625. So, you know, I'm $225 ahead. A 9.2 is $700. So I'm $300 ahead. I know Miles Morales is going to see his day as a live action character, whether it's a TV show, whether it's in the movies. It seems like he speaks to a newer generation of Spider-Man aficionados. I didn't want to miss the boat on this. So I had this put at a 9.0, and we got a 9.2, which is exactly what the seller said it was. So good on you, seller. A 9.2 of this book, like I said, is $700. You know, so I'm $300 ahead on this. I mean, that's great. I will probably at some point sell this book because I am not emotionally invested in Miles Morales. Taking advantage of a dip in the price, is graded now. I will be able to sell this and double my money and get many more books graded that I I do want to get graded, because I do love them. So that's awesome. We're doing really good today at the Kraken's Lair. Everything's graded higher than I thought. Maybe I'm now undergrading my books a little bit, and that's fine because I don't want to be disappointed, and I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't pull these books out of the bag and board. I'm not looking at every single page. There was a couple books I had that came back graded sometimes like a full 1.5 lower because there was some staining on the back cover or some issues that I was just not aware of. So this is awesome. Everybody knows I'm trying to, people that watch my channel, I'm trying to complete my Tales of Suspense run from issue number 39, the very first appearance of Iron Man, up to issue number 59 of Tales of Suspense, where it becomes an Iron Man half Captain America story. And of that, from issue 30 to issue 59, I'm only missing 3 at this point. 3 are like the first appearance of Mandarin I'm missing, the very first appearance of Black Widow I'm missing, and then the first appearance of Pepper Potts I'm missing, and then there's this one random one where it's like Iron Man and Cleopatra on the cover. So I'm only missing 4. Now this I bought from some gentleman in England because you will notice it is it's like the 9 pence European thing. But this thing was just gorgeous, and I knew it was. Notes. Tales of Suspense, number 48. I'm all in $230 on this. I put it at a 5 to a 6.5. At a 5, its value is $350. At a 6.5, the value is $450. I don't think it's going to go up much from that. I mean, obviously, if it does get like at 8.0 is $675. But even if it comes back a 5, I'm still up $100 and change over the cost of the book and over what I spent to have it graded. This came out in December of 1963. This is the first appearance of this armor. And it's the first appearance of Mr. Doll, this crazy guy. So, a drum roll, please. I put this, a 5.0 to a 6.5, 7.0, off white to white pages. And like I said, it's the Pence variant. So that's going to lower the selling value of it a little bit, but just a little bit. To have a 7.0 of this, I mean, that's just amazing. I'm super pleased with that. I mean, that's just awesome. I mean, I was like, yes. I mean, would I have liked a 7.5 or a shocking 8? Like, yeah, of course. But man, a 7.0 for a book that is from 1963, that's not easy to come by. I'm really, really glad that I spent the money to have that graded. Continuing with Tales of Suspense, this is a big one. This one made me so happy when I bought it, but also like a little bit nerve-wracked because I did not spend, chump change on this book. There's my notes. Tales of Suspense number 40. The second appearance of Iron Man ever. I'm in $600. Like I said, it's not a cheap book. I mean, that's what I paid for the book and the pressing, the dry cleaning, the grading, and all that stuff. I put it at a 3.0 to a 4.0. Now, like, this gets a little bit dicey because, once again, I paid just about what I think the value of this book is. A 3.0 is $475, so that'd be a loss for right now. Once again, this book is going to continue to appreciate. A 4.0 is $675, so I'd be up $75. That's great. I don't have what a 5 is. A 6 is $1,400. Now, I mean, there's no way that this is a 6. You'll notice that somebody wrote their name. And I don't know how grading companies handle that. I mean, to me, it's not so off-putting from the general artwork of the cover. It kind of adds some nostalgia that this kid, Ed Washland, like, this is my book. It's the Ed Wakeland variant. So I'm cool with that. Like I said, I mean, it wasn't inexpensive. I had sold some comic books. I made a bunch of money. Paid for some books to be graded, but I'm still buying comic books. So, like I said, this one's a little bit nerve-wracking, Fever. I am in $600 on this. Second appearance of Iron Man ever. I'm really hoping for that 4.0 because at least that puts me up a little bit of profit right now. And the grading gods have spoken. A 4.5. So, I mean, not shocked. This is from 0463. The second appearance of Iron Man. The first Iron Man in his gold armor. I knew it wasn't high grade. I mean, honestly, if it had come back at 2.5, I would have been like outraged or shocked. I mean, I know at that point I would have spent more money than it was worth it at a 2 or 2.5, but I own it and it will continue to appreciate. Iron Man is not going away. They're going to announce a new actor and Iron Man is going to continue to be in the movies, in the MCU for a long, long time. I don't know if I will ever have the first appearance, the Tales of Suspense number 39. And if I don't, that's okay. I mean, I'm not going to give up on it. But once again, that's getting up to the point where just to sit at that table to get a very low grade. I mean, sometimes like, a coverless with a facsimile cover, it's like you're talking multiple thousands of dollars. Maybe at some point I might be able to, make a trade of something. But probably, well, it's not on my radar right now. What's on my radar is Daredevil number 1, and I want to get that before it gets, it's getting up there. If wish a couple years ago, but I had other books on my radar while I was looking for it. It was already expensive a couple years ago, and it just keeps rising. And so that is a book I would like to add to my collection before it just gets to a price point that I can't in good conscience spend the money on. And if you can, more power to you. But I just don't foresee a situation where I'm ever going to drop $4,000 or $5,000 on a comic book. I have other goals. You know, my wife and I have other goals. You know, the travel that we could do on $5,000 and to have those experiences, it outweighs to me owning a comic book in my collection. But I'm so happy to own this. So pleased with that 4.5. I mean, that's just amazing. So many people will just never have this in the collection. What a great part of history. I love that World War II diver, Iron Man armor. I love that retro look. And pretty much all my early ones right now, I mean, they're getting graded. I've got this one graded. I've got issue number 41 graded. I've shown other of these. I actually have a whole video that's just here, my early Tales of Suspense collection. So if you've not seen it, go check it out. But this brings us to the last book of this graded collection. I bought this fairly recently from a gentleman, Earl Shaw. He's a big comic book dealer of the entire Southeast. He actually lives not very far from me. So I saw he had this listed on eBay. I made him an offer, which was just above $100. He accepted, and I was like, hey man, can I just drive out and get it so I don't have to pay for shipping and you don't have to deal with shipping it? And he was like, fine. I was shocked that he actually met me at his house. I figured he was going to like meet me somewhere up the street. And I got to go in Earl Shaw's house and I mean, just see amazing original artwork and just amazing books that he's just got sitting on tables as he's, you know, grading stuff and he's listing stuff for sale, like things I just never thought I would see. You know, really early Batman comics and just, you know, just drool-worthy books. And, you know, I was so thankful for that opportunity. Earl Shaw, he's a great guy. He sells stuff on eBay. He goes to comic book conventions. If you ever see him, see his booth, go introduce yourself. Check him out. I promise you, he has amazing books. And while, you know, he's selling books for profit, he's not trying to gouge you for every last dollar. I mean, if the book is worth, you know, whatever, $200, he's not going to try to sell it for $500. If the book is worth $1,000, he's not going to try to sell it for $2,000. You're going to get good books and get a fair deal. I you know, certainly think I got a very fair deal on this. So last one in my notes, Journey into Mystery number 88. I'm $120 in. I put this at a 3.0 to a 3.5. At a 3.5, the value on this is $600. Okay? Now, this is a year later after buying it from him. This is how much this book has gone up because this is the second appearance of Loki, and that TV show of Loki just did so well. Once again, the first appearance of Loki, it's expensive. I mean, and this one's not cheap. So when I bought this from Earl Shaw a little over a year ago, you know, $120. Okay, well, a little less than that because obviously I paid for the grading and all that stuff, which is factored in there. I mean, that was a great price. It is now currently for a 3.5 is $600. A 4.0 is $775. Let's see what the grading gods have spoken. Second appearance of Loki, Journey into Mystery, number 88. I had this book put at a 3.0 to a 3.5. Bam. A 4.0. Another book from January 1963. If that focuses, you'll see second appearance of Loki, creamed off-white pages. I cannot complain about that 4.0 at all. So happy I had that graded. This also might be a book I might consider selling because once again, I mean, you know, I might wait till like, you know, season 2 of Loki, and then when everybody's like Loki, you know, I'll be able to sell this, you know, as opposed for, you know, the $775 it is now, it'll push up towards $1,000. That pays for me to get 20 comic books pressed, dry cleaned, and graded. I might let this one go. So everybody, I mean, this is probably one of my longest videos. We're moving on 45 minutes. Thank you so much for watching the Kraken's Lair comics. I know my channel's janky. I'm hoping somewhere here in this year I can get a dedicated computer and a camera so I can do justice to these books. I can do justice to you, my subscribers. I can do justice to just the random viewers that happen to find me. I really hope you like these books. Once again, I'm not oblivious to the fact that there's a whole lot of collectors out there that won't ever own Journey into Mystery 88, that won't ever own the second appearance of Iron Man and Tales of Suspense 40, that won't ever own Ultimate Fallout 4 that has got so ghastly expensive, that won't ever own, you know, Amazing Spider-Man 12. I am not ungrateful for the books that I have. I am not ungrateful that these books did not come back, you know, 8s, 8.5s, 9s. I am certainly not upset because every single one of these graded just a little bit higher. Once again, that's not an indictment on PGX and that they don't know what they're doing. It's that I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't know how some stuff would grade, you know. How much does this chunk missing out of the cover affect the grade? I don't have this information. They do. Nothing here was overgraded, you know, significantly. It all is helping me learn about how things grade, where now I can look at where I've got multiple copies of books that have graded a 4. And I can start to compare and go, okay, you know, how similar are these books in terms of their damage? Or, hey, this graded a 5. Or, hey, this graded a 6. And comparing those books side by side to start to learn more. So when I'm at the comic book convention or when I'm buying a book on eBay and I'm looking at a comic book or I'm looking at pictures of comic books, that regardless of what the seller it says, you know, oh, I think this is, you know, very fine. This is a 7.5. That I'm more savvy as a purchaser to go, you know, I don't think it's that. Or, you know, in regards to, you know, like some of these to where, oh, hey, I think that might be a little bit nicer than what you're saying it is. You know, this right here, I don't think there's any way that the seller thought it was a 7. I mean, I had it like as a between a 5 and a 6.5. You know, certainly the price that they sold it to me for, well under $200, because with the grading and stuff, I'm $230 in. I mean, a 7.0. I mean, that's amazing. So everybody, I've rambled on long enough. I hope you love this video. I hope you enjoy comics. I hope you enjoy comic book collecting. It's not all about how much the books are worth. It's about the hunt for books, the acquiring of books, the filling in books in our collection, filling in, you know, books that maybe we never thought we would own. You know, the love of the history, the love of the artwork, the love of the stories, the love of these characters that have meant so much to us. Certainly having these graded and having them protected for, you know, multiple generations of collectors where I spent the money to keep this safe. I feel really good about that. So everybody, Kraken's Lair Comics, enjoy comics, enjoy comic book collecting. My next video is going to be showing other books that I'm going to send off to get graded. I look forward to seeing you then. Have a great evening.